Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus one more time, and I'm here as usual because I got a message that I need to share with you. It was shared with me. It was good for me, got to be good for you. So it's good for both of us. We're going to go places. You know, people believe and they accept as truth things that they've been taught. People teach different things in different places. Some things taught in one place contradict some things taught in other places. But most think that their teachings are divine, that they are from God. And they believe definitely in a higher order to be attained. Now, people in all places have a commonality in its quest for survival. Now, yet, self-preservation is the law of the land. People on a plot where 50% of the resources have been made available naturally, and the other 50% of the resources required comes from those that would benefit. The problem reveals itself in the inability of a process that accommodates all the people. Selfishness stands in the way. The law of the land. Thus, one challenge of life is to determine how to connect the 50% of the natural resources with the 50% of the human element, the 50% that of us. How do we do it in such a way that the needs, the wants, and the desires are met for everyone? Arresting the selfishness by allowing 100% to work for each person. Well, there's no knowledge of a human experience practice this anywhere. So, ladies and gentlemen, these are kinds of things that we have to deal with every day. Presently, the teachings everywhere is to be selfish for personal benefit. You know the story. For a chance to be put ahead and get yours, a part of the positive message, in the positive influence, and the punishment of various conditions that would prevent people from taking a negative influence is that you get punished if you go against the grain. And that punishment can go from anything from embarrassment to jail and even death, depending upon what the problem is. Now, this explains to some degree why the world is like it is. The challenge, I'll say again, is to harmonize the human experience to the degree that it works for everyone. That's the challenge. That which has not been taught is the most complicated to do, for it is unknown. This is an unknown language. How do you fix this? That's an unknown language. This is where the divine order steps in. Now, the divine order explains how to accomplish the needs, how to accomplish the wants, how to accomplish the desires for all. However, the order is not known by the public. It has been compromised by the unknowing, including those who profess to know. So presently, the knowing, true knowing, is murdered to protect the power of the beast. Now, what am I saying to you, ladies and gentlemen? I'm saying to you that life has been given that we as human beings might live. The beast is to destroy life. That we as human beings that have been given to live life will not live life. Instead, the beast live life. The beast grows. and you, the people, diminish, that all of your existence is for the beast to control. And truly, God, for those of you who believe in God, has given each of you control over the beast in you. That's how you control the big beast, by controlling the beast in you. The beast in you will submit to you if you take control. Now, that big beast can only be overtaken if the beast in all of you, or enough of you, come together. You can sit the beast down. So, with the world that we're living in today, when I talk to you about it, ladies and gentlemen, I try to come to you with the best that I know. I want to be honest and fair with you. There are things that happen, the things that I speak to you of, I back it out by being a social scientist. On the other hand, I back it out because of a faith in God, a God I cannot see, cannot touch, cannot feel, but the evidence of something that I know I had no hand in. We know we had no hand in as far as human beings, because we are not capable. Like the earth, the air, the oxygen. No, we can't do these kinds of things. So there is a power that is beyond my comprehension that I call God. And some of the things that I say to you seems to be so beyond our comprehension as a people. Like, how do we get peace? How do we have prosperity? How do we have freedom for all? It seems to be so far beyond our comprehension as a people. So if I can recognize a plan that will work, then I say it comes from God. Why? Because it appears to be beyond our comprehension as a people. Now, for those of you who do not believe in God, then I just have to say to you, then all the explanation that I have to offer is that it's me. I am that I am. And I don't mean to be a narcissist. If that is being a narcissist, then to that degree, I am. I don't want anybody to suffer beyond their ability to learn how to get rid of suffering. And if I have learned, then I will share with you how to get rid of suffering. That doesn't mean you are going to listen. Not because I say it. I can stand up and represent it, and if it goes far enough against the grain of what you have been taught, you're going to feel threatened. And since you don't know the truth, your understanding of getting rid of it is to bury it. In essence, what you're doing is freeing it to live amongst those who do know the truth, who have made a commitment and committed their lives on a certain plane such as this, that they're not going to have it. They're not going to be a slave to people who don't know that God didn't make money. They're not going to be a slave to people who think because a piece of metal is gold or silver, or that it has such more value than a plain rock. That all of these things that have been given value by people who have used it to exploit others. No, can't be ruled by that. I'd rather stand behind everything that I say to you and say that all the resources belong to a power that we can't see. All of it, that natural resources, and even the abilities that we have are embedded within us by that same power that created us. And it was done for the purpose of being exercised at a point in time when it is required of us to make a move in a particular direction. And the direction is in the creative process of life, so that abundance in joy, abundance and fulfillment of dreams. You know, like the galaxies. You can't, well, I guess you can imagine based upon what some of these scientists have told us, for those of you who believe in science. Or if you can't, just watch the television sometimes and see the stratosphere, see the universe as they go out there. And if you can't do that, watch some of the programs on television about the natural life, about the forest, and how you go out there in the jungles and see how the real wild animals live. And pray to God that you're not like that kind of animal, and recognize that part of the animal that you do see, that destructive nature that you see in them, is the same that's in you. And if it's despicable to you as you see it in them, then it should be despicable, so you can get rid of it and allow the spirit of truth to enter in. Now, what am I saying, ladies and gentlemen? I'm saying that when I come to you and say I want to be president of the United States, Doesn't mean that I'm a genius. It just means that I want to make sure that every American have access to food, clothing, and shelter, and education and health care in whatever abundance they need it, want it, or desire. I want to make sure that this is what I represent. This is what I speak for. This is what I understand. And that is for every American. And I want every American to understand that each of them would benefit from everything that I've just mentioned. And since you would benefit and will benefit, that you got something that you bring to the earth for being here. You didn't come to just benefit from these things that I just mentioned, but you came to guarantee that we would not run out of it by engaging that gift that you have been given that gives you your greatest joy in the process to make sure that such an abundance exists that no one will ever be lacking anything. I know that works. I know that doesn't require not one investment outside of your commitment to participate in that process. You don't need money. You don't need loans. You don't need debts. You don't need finance of any sort. That's a commitment utilizing the resources of that power we can't see with the power that we can see to get what we want. Simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. And with that simplicity, why should I or you or anybody follow a system of government that creates hatred and lies and racism and bigotry and want to pick up guns and go intimidate people and fight people and threaten people to get your way? I mean, why submit to that? If you don't want to do that, why submit to that? Be bigger than that. Sometimes you might have to believe in that power you can't see, you can't touch, you can't feel, but the evidence of it is all around you, even you. And now your ability to stand in the face of danger and come out alive. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. Once again, this is Eddie Marcus saying, when you go to those polls, think about what you're doing. Are you voting for more evil? Are you voting to hope that you just don't sink? Or are you making a decision that you're going to play a major role in taking this nation forward? And if you do that, you're going to vote for yourselves by writing in, and I said write in, Eddie Marcus. I'm not concerned about being on ballots. I want the people to speak. I want a mandate from the people who have decided that we're going to have heaven and not hell. And that, my friends, standing on right in. Okay? Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.